Today's time to go to battle. And this is looking at verses 8 and 9 here and on down a little ways in this chapter. It is the first battle that the Israelites face. And this is interesting because remember who they've been. For approximately 400 years, they've been slaves. So they have fought no battles for generations. They have been under oppression. And so now they're going to face a different kind of test. And so instead of them having to trust God for water, food, those kind of things, now they're going to have to trust God in battle. So let's look at verses 8 and 9 today. It says, while the people of Israel were still at Rephidim, the warriors of Amalek attacked them. Moses commanded Joshua, and this is first mention of Joshua we find in the Bible. Choose some men to go out and fight the army of Amalek for us. Tomorrow I will stand at the top of the hill, holding the staff of God in my hand. Now this is an absolute unprovoked attack. And so in response to that, Moses calls Joshua to lead the men of Israel into battle to defend the nation. Now, Amalek, who the Amalekites are named after, was a grandson of Esau. So they were kin to Israel distantly, through Jacob and Esau, because Jacob was the line of promise that the tribes would come through, and then Esau was his brother. And so they were enemies anyway. It didn't matter. So they were nomads. They were a nomadic people. And so they ranged over a wide area that was often described as the Negev. It was like this southern land. It really, what we think of today is how Israel, kind of borders there with modern day, Egypt there. That land in the south of Israel, and even part of what Israel controls is kind of what we would think of in ancient times as the Negev. So if you pull out a map and look there, you'll kind of see where they're located in this. So this is their first movement that they're going to deal with war. God helped them avoid battle initially, but now it's time that they're going to deal with this. And so Moses' plan is to go fight, and then he says, tomorrow I will stand at the top of a hill holding the staff of God in my hand. So Scripture calls this staff several things. First, it's called your rod by Moses, or by God, and then it's also called the rod of God. So at some points it's called Moses' staff, some points it's called God's staff, depending on who's talking at the moment. But once again, just like this is the same staff he used to strike the rock. This is the staff from the Nile River. This is the staff for the parting of the Red Sea. So this is a very powerful symbolic tool. It's not anything holy necessarily or great about it, but it was kind of like an instrument that God used. It was a visible instrument that God used in doing things for the Israelites. And so Moses is going to hold this staff up. And we'll see how that goes tomorrow in verses 10 and 11. See you there.